Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Toxic Patch Co. What? You coming up in my stream? I don't live there. I read it. So they dropped sales tax on all guns and ammo in West Virginia today. What a beautiful thing. That is incredible. Armitage, any word on if they actually arrested any of those tards that fled in Texas? Don't know. You talking about the oh no, that's something else. What? Lululemon marketing? Yeah, is this a joke? Is this actually Lululemon marketing? Are you playing with me? Typically our streams are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. But we pushed it a little bit late today. Our guest was shooting for 10:30 and we sorry, I am everywhere. Yeah, and I was late. It was my fault. Blame me. Um, and just so all you guys know, I am literally wearing Lululemons right now. So I hope you guys uh, are comfortable with that. I couldn't get a hold of Light or Swamp Dog. It was almost like they just like disappeared on me. I'm gonna try to send the invitation one more time. Oh,
Oh shit! Oh,
what the
we're
fuck?
live.
How did that happen?
Dude, I have no idea.
I
Hi.
I sent the invitation to you and to Swamp Dog, but
Dude,
I that was
I
probably
was in the.
15 minutes ago.
D-
What the fuck?
what? I thought you said 9:30.
What
Dude, this is
happened?
crazy. I don't know. This is wild. We're in the same place at the same time.
Damn, dude. Like I had
Well, we're
like
here. Might as well do it.
the
Hey
fuck.
man,
I
I
guess
guess
so. I was just on the toilet in a public restroom. I'm better to be here now. I'm just saying.
um
Yeah, I think
so
that this is a better situation than that situation. Then
Yeah, but this is just a background. I'm still in the public toilet.
like a deer in the headlights. Space Texan said, "What the fuck is going on?" Yeah, I know. I don't know.
that's what we're trying to figure out.
Our devices are just occupied. I don't know. Someone's on them.
It's a conspiracy theory. I would tell you that right now.
601 in the house. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Apparently, Lululemon is in our chat here. However, I will add, I don't believe that you are actually Lululemon marketing because I just said on Discord less than a week ago that I rock Lululemon sweatpants on almost a daily basis. So if you are a troll, I love you.
Soon to
And
be my ex-wife loves Lululemon, and I have no hard feelings or anything. Please pass on a sponsorship to her.
oh my goodness, I am not familiar with Mr. Reeves. Sorry. Um, James Reeves is the sweetest man that you ever could meet. What's up, Montana?
He has very soft skin.
Is it
Also,
man or man child?
Um, full,
we all are
full,
men
full.
child.
Yeah, I'd say full-born man though. I mean, you can't get those luscious thighs and those shorts without. You guys should get some like Ranger panty shorts and name them like the James Reeves collection. Do some.
That, that's why I look up to him, because I consider him to be a man. You know, I'm
Yeah.
still a man child. I'm just saying.
Are you fine gents familiar with our broad men's activewear line? Bro, I am literally wearing Lululemons right now. I don't want to take this any further, okay? Uh, I welcome you to our stream,
Do you have
and
the mansplaining edition or the manspreading edition of Lululemon? That's what they're trying to ask you. Yes,
and I
we will take those.
and I'll tell you, if you got like when here when my wife gave me a gift, okay, the year before for my birthday, she gave me a Ruger Vaquero Sheriff model and 44 Magnum Tailo edition with a 3.75-inch barrel and bird's head grips. Okay, the next year she gave me Lululemons. And I was like, what? Like, how did I get gypped like this? Okay. Then I put them on, and then I wore them, and then I understood the magic that is comfortable sweatpants. I like to
Because
call
you've
it
gotten more
athleisure.
out of the Lululemons than you have out of those firearms.
Out of the 40, probably. I could probably resell them for more than the. No, I'm just kidding. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. Sorry, we
I
like to
bet you
joke
can
around
sell
a
those
lot.
Lululemons for more than those Vacaros.
I don't
Just
know.
saying, you're dark
That's
now. You're dark,
special
bro.
edition. No,
Get them
sadly, you know
dark
what?
Lululemons.
I actually, unfortunately,
Tore a hole in them.
no longer own the 44 Magnum. However, all of my Lululemons are in great condition. But I don't want to talk about that because it brings
This
up
is
salty
this is what
memories.
I was saying. You'd rather sell your freaking your 45s than your Lululemons. I'm just saying. You could have
Um,
got the same value out of them from somebody in Japan. Would have paid way more.
your testimony is appreciated. Has your channel received sponsorship as of yet? No, it is not. You don't want to sponsor us.
No, you do, because I might have girlfriends in the future, and I could definitely use like a one up.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm just
But
saying.
for all you
Just
men
where
out
I'm at.
there, James Reeves Lululemon signatures with Molly. Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and get started, guys. You guys know we like to play around. Okay, so
I was gonna
here
say
we
I got
have,
nothing to add on that. The only thing I know from Lululemon is it being joked about on the ranch.
of course, and I'm gonna guess you're not wearing Lululemon sweatpants right now.
No, I'm not.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Let's go ahead and jump in. Um, okay, hold on. James Reeves, Lululemon signatures with Molly. I like
Oh,
that.
Molly gear. Oh, dude, I could put like a 30 round Molly pack down there.
Dude, this is such a troll. This is one of the best trolls ever. Country Gun Gal, welcome. I believe this may be your first stream. The goddamn bacon. Yeah, he's originally from Texas, but moved here because of me.
We need
Yeah,
to
that's
ask
my
Country
wife.
Gun.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
dude, ask your wife to talk to Lululemon marketing and
Not
let
Lilu, it's
Lilu.
Lulu.
whatever. I don't wear it, so I
Is it
wouldn't
Lilu
know.
from the Fifth Element?
That's what I thought. I
Yes.
thought it was Lululemon.
You thought it was named after her.
Multipass. Ask your wife to be able to ask specific questions to the marketing campaign from the Trolleones over there. I
And
genuinely think that there might be interesting conversation had.
it's it's a troll. You know it's a
Oh,
troll.
we know it's a troll. I'm just saying, let's see if we can get the troll to be able to make the chat funny. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. We are from Canada.
Y'all's
Is there
chat's almost as good as the streams half the time anyway.
Oh, that's why
Dude, the
people
chat's
come. They
way
don't come
better
for
than the
us.
stream. We
You know
stick here
how
for just the chat.
you know how oh my God, Lululemon pants and fleck tarn or brushstroke maybe. Lululemon. Is there no place in your community for promotion of quality men's activewear? Hey, do it up, man. I will never halt your speech in any way. Um,
Did I
okay,
miss
so let's
that
go ahead and get
text?
started.
Go
My apologies. Okay, so first of all, you guys know me. I'm dark. And to my right, we have that's you,
Light.
Liggity Light.
That's me.
And I put this very special banner on today for someone that I haven't seen for a little bit, but just saw them pop in. GKT11, Hammer Down. That's his thing. So, we do some special stuff for Gertchop. We do some special stuff for GKT11. So, welcome, brother. And I'd like to go ahead and introduce our guest and Swamp Dog Millionaire. No, I'm kidding. Swamp Dog Armory. Go ahead and tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I just started Swamp Dog Armory. I got a little YouTube channel where I do 3D gun videos, as in stereo 3D, like going to the movies with the glasses. I'm
So
a
you're
gunsmith.
recording the gun from multiple angles, is what you're saying?
Kinda. It depends on what 3D thing I'm gonna end up with on how I have to approach filming it. But most of the stuff is all filmed with multiple cameras. It's usually a pair, which is what they call stereo.
Yep.
And for the best stereo 3D, the more that you can get similar to the spacing between the center of each actual camera to what the natural center spacing from eye to eye is where you get the best 3D viewing without like the headache or nausea and stuff. Because that headache and nausea and stuff, that's what that's coming from, is where it not being aligned with what your eyes is used to seeing.
Dude, that is really cool because the way Dark was talking to me, I thought you were talking about like doing this on a computer. But all right, so we got stereotopical and 3D modeling of firearms. That's freaking phenomenal. What else you got, brother?
I'm also a gunsmith. I graduated from the SDI's Associate of Science and Firearms Technology gunsmithing degree in 2019.
Dude,
What
that's awesome.
what was entailed with all that? Like, how much did you learn? Was it worth it in your opinion?
It was worth it to me, but it's like I tell a lot of people, it's one of them things. It makes a big difference on what you're planning to get out of it, on how you need to approach it. Like for me personally, I was approaching it with the intent of learning for myself and just adding to what I would have already just been researching on my own and getting the degree to go with it.
Like a
Whereas
fast track versus trying to watch YouTube and build up a repertoire.
yeah,
This kind of focused it.
That, and then like my grandpa always said, if you can get a pigskin for something you're already doing anyways, it's that pigskin, meaning degree, is going to hold a little bit more weight. But now if someone's like, say, trying to do it thinking, okay, I'm going to get this degree and I'm going to go start working at, say, Glock or something like that, or this local gun shop, that ain't necessarily going to work out for you, because number one, that's not really what them shops is actually looking for in hiring someone. That gunsmith degree accompanying a 1 or 2 year or even a couple of month machining program from a local community college, on the other hand, that will definitely get you in the door and then some, because that's the kind of actual hands-on training that a lot of the shops is looking for. Everything's going heavy into the machining, and not just the machining, but CNC skills. Even the, say, laser engraving, which is the way a lot of the stippling stuff is getting done nowadays. All of that stuff goes back into the same training and software skill stuff of CNC work.
Right.
And
And
you didn't
at the
just get the certificate, you actually got your associate's degree through Sonoran Desert Institute.
Correct. And whereas going back to what I was going into it for, I was going into it, and what got me interested in gunsmith and stuff in the first place is the hands-on artistic side of stuff, which is the opposite of what the industry is going towards with all the CNC
so you're
stuff.
looking at like hand engraving on the
Hand
turn wheel and stuff.
Exactly, and even more than that, aside from just like the hand engraving, like where you're talking the regular crisscross diamond pattern, I'm more interested in the hand carved scale pattern engraving and stuff like that, like what a lot of people call German style engraving, which is more of carved.
Nice.
So basically, one thing that I want to ask you, and I'm kind of feeling that this is the same way you would, or you're feeling. You can watch YouTube videos and get good at certain things and become better at them, and maybe even be a master of certain things. But what the Institute, Sonoran Desert, right?
Yeah, Sonoran Desert
Yeah.
Institute. Yes, that's what
Sonoran Desert
SDI.
Institute. Basically, they help give you a crash course and help focus you in and show you these things in real life conditions, help you or help teach you. You get a good overall perspective. And if you're somebody that wants to make barrels, you start doing the machinist side. If you're somebody that wants to do the artistic side, like what you wanted to start off with engraving, you can move on from there after you get your certification, your associates, and then you can do follow-up training and then just perfect your craft and then try to find a company to be able to work for like that. Or you can just get the certificate and work at a local gun shop, pushing on sights or changing out barrels or, anything on an AR or a shotgun. You know what I mean?
And
Yes,
real quick,
that's pretty.
Swampy, before you respond, just Toxic Patch Co. Sent us a $2 super chat. He said, "Here's a little money for having my peoples on." And I gotta say, I like the
Yep.
donut in your logo. It's no.
Got to rep the 601.
Oh yeah, sorry, my apologies. Go ahead, and thank you,
Yeah,
Toxic Patch.
Toxic Patch Co. is an hour away from me.
Oh, nice. Isn't that who does the? And not to take it off from what Lay was saying, just really quickly, isn't Toxic Patch Co. the company that does the stuff with Crump?
Yep, he's the one doing Crump's patches and the Future Felons of America patches for 2AEDU, all on
Nice,
blackswantactical.com.
nice, man. That's
We
what's
could
up.
use some patches. Just letting you know, Toxic Patch Go.
So we have some lined up, and we just haven't pulled the trigger. But I'm definitely open to talk, especially if it's someone that we could support. That's like, in like the circle.
Can we set up intellectual property rights on something that I've said multiple times?
Is it? It is what it is.
No, thank a veteran for your pronoun.
Oh, probably.
I'm just saying.
I thought you were gonna say I'm gonna copyright. It is or
it is what it is.
It is
Is
what
my
it is.
favorite saying still.
Just giving you a heads up.
There's
Hey,
two sayings that
hold
I
on.
say all the time.
Y'all
that
go
What
ahead.
are
come
Give me
they?
1 second.
I was going to say the two sayings that I say all the time that I'm actually working on getting patches done go together. The first one is work smarter, not harder. And then going along with that, which the second one doesn't quite make as much sense without the context of the first one. But my grandpa would always say, "I'm not clever, I'm just lazy."
By any chance, did you ever see the Brandon Herrera Khyber Pass interview where they were talking about with the AR-15 or the M4, the what do you call it?
Yeah, where they would push you try to be using the crap. What's that
I
called?
can't even
The
think what it is. Oh my
forward
god!
assist, and
Thank you. The
they
forward
would use it
assist,
for they'd use it
like
for
to
the
pump it
sniper
up.
button.
Yeah,
The
they would
sniper
pump
button.
it up, like pump it 10 times, and they know it's gonna hit harder. Oh
Yeah,
my god,
like
dude!
old Daisy BB gun.
Dude,
But yeah, to go back to answer what you was saying,
yes.
that your kind of overview pretty much sums it up real well. The real advantage for anyone with SDI is they do curate all that stuff for you to give you your basics on all the general areas, and then like certain areas that you're more interested in, like diving deeper into, you can look into it more in some of the material that they give you, because they don't cover it completely in depth. Like I said, they go over your basics so that you have your fundamental, but then just with the material that's still included, you have so much more to look like. Say, for example, reloading. You can look into like
Oh my
everything
god,
and reload,
reloading. Oh,
not just like loading data and stuff like that, but all the way down to making your own projectiles, not which a lot of
oh yeah.
people know about, like casting, but they go into swaging and
Oh,
all of that kind of stuff.
dude,
And that,
I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm jumping on board with you. I didn't even think that deep into it. And the minute you just said bullet reloading, I'm just thinking about projectiles, casings, powder. Like literally, there's a market to be able to make authentic black powder for
yep,
musket
yep.
loaders. there's
That's
a
one thing
market.
that I'm going to go into a little bit later, but I have literal bloodline ties to black powder cartridges and stuff, and being able to find a reproduction from someone like Buffalo Arms or something like that is there only is a handful of places that is specializing in those safely redone but like
Yep, like
period
making mini
correct
balls.
cartridges. Yep.
I mean, that was a thing that was I think that was through the whole Civil War. It got bigger in the middle to the end, but still, there was a majority of people using round ball, and
Yep,
there
and
on both
you're
sides.
talking the immense difference just from going round ball to mini ball. Talk
Yep,
about going Whitworth.
I know. And even though they saw a benefit, nobody could produce them fast enough to be able
Yep,
to sell to any side in enough quantity. At one point in time, if they would have taken all the mini balls together, they, whatever side would have fucking had a decisive
and really,
victory.
if you really think about it, all it would have took was making a few thousand molds and
Oh my
passing them
God.
around.
Yep. But it was still, selling the highest bidder, no matter
But
what
then
side
again, at the
it
same
was.
point, for the to get the benefit of having a mini ball, you have to have a rifled bore, and a lot of the muskets at that time still were smooth bore.
But the mini ball worked like the Diablo shape for a pellet
Yep.
gun. It was heavier up front and had a nose, so he fired out of a smooth bore, and it would still retain better accuracy than
But
just a ball. So
but the real
go ahead.
benefit
I'm sorry.
comes with using it in a rifled barrel, because that
Oh
flared
yeah,
bottom that you're
100%,
talking
dude.
about creates a actual type of a gas seal, and you actually get more
Yep.
velocity as well as the spin, and that's all stuff no
So
one
with
even thought of before that.
You're right, but with the smooth bore at 50 yards, you could hit somebody with a mini ball. You were dead. You were gonna hit them at 100 yards with that rifle barrel. You would hit them with the mini ball. It doesn't mean you're gonna hit them dead center, but you will hit a man-sized target with a mini ball.
Yep. Well, there's a reason why the term broadside of a barn came up. It comes from back then. That was literally a measurement of accuracy in the British like muzzle loading trial time period.
Wasn't it like 65 yards? You point at the
Yep.
broadside of a barn, you pull the trigger. If you can't hit it, that means your round ball just fucking veered off,
And
or
even
you're
then, I think it was like something like 5 out of 10 shots to hit it or something. Not like even like hitting it every time.
dude.
And
See,
it
but
was
5 out of 10
considered
nowadays,
shots.
accurate.
Five
I
out of
need
10
sub
shots. They would have
MOA
said you're a
accuracy.
sniper.
Yep.
Yeah, now
Aim
everyone's
at
like, I
that guy
need
a
sub
thousand
MOA
yards
accuracy
away
out
and
of my
take
AR.
3,000 shots.
Yeah, and all that talking about sub MOA and stuff. There's a very few handful of people that can even take advantage of the minute differences stuff like that talks about. You're talking about stuff where your rifle is 10 times better than you're physically able to take advantage of
Oh my god,
anyways, and talking
I've
about
seen
just
that.
numbers at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen that so much, but I will admit, I don't. Dark, have you ever held like a musket,
Oh
like
yeah.
a real life musket?
Like an actual musket. Yeah.
I've
It's
got
funny
to
that you
hold
I
bring
have
that
a
up,
and
by the way,
fire
because
musket.
that's
one.
what.
Yeah, I've
And
fired some
hold
buck
on, I'll
fires.
let you say what you're going to say after this, Swamp Dog. But I've got to hold and fire one, and I will say, with all that extra weight, that shit is super stable. So even if you're just looking at that little blade sight at the front, if you get used to it, if you have the right, mini ball or setup, whatever, I think you could do a good job and be pretty accurate with, the smooth bore. But go ahead. Other than that,
Oh, I was gonna say that's one of the courses with SDI. Is one of the labs is to build a muzzleloader,
really,
Mm,
like a
that's
do
pretty
you do
dope.
Kentucky
it out of
long
like
rifle style.
Do you do it out of like pipe or like how?
No, you do it out of one of like the Traditions muzzleloader kits where it's the bare stock that you have to shape and inlet everything and get the
So it's an
lock
it's an
in.
80% AR-15.
No, it's more like a 12% AR-15.
Oh, okay.
There's
if you
a
didn't
whole
have a
lot more
stock
work
on
even
there,
from milling it. Well,
but
that's
if
what I'm
you
saying.
didn't
The
have a
stock
stock
is
on
not
there,
a full stock. It's like a wood
You
that
gotta
you
shape
have
it.
to
no,
cut it,
Swamp
shape
Dog,
it, and
you're missing
everything.
what I'm saying. If you didn't have a stock on there, it's an 80%. All the work is into shaping the stock in the front handle.
Yeah. If when you're comparing it that way, then okay, yeah.
Okay,
There's
hold on.
less machining.
I called it. I'm sorry, really quickly. I called it total troll, Lululemon marketing. You people, first off, what do you mean, you people? Okay. Secondly, you people seem very nice. Use promo code PWEDC20 for 20% off on our new center mass concealment men's sweatpants. Thank you, Lululemon. We appreciate you stopping
please.
by.
No, if it's Kevlar lined, I'm interested.
Oh, yeah, I'm all about that. Also, just your average goy sent us a 223. I do want to bring something up tonight, which we can do kind of later after this conversation about just your average goy. But back then, they lined up in rows to fight too.
And shot over each other's shoulders.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now just imagine if there was 30 people with AR-15s back then. Line up, please. Just saying. Please put me against one of these fucking redcoats. I got you, bro. I got the whole revolution for you.
So you literally shape the stock. Is it octagonal barrel? Is it already
Yes, the one that I got was an octagonal barrel.
nice?
And you have to shape the brass for the butt plate and the nose cap once you get the stock shaped to match, and then whatever kind of finishing you're wanting to do, whether you just stain it or I'm going to
Did you have to
burn it
do
and
any
then
work to
stain
the
it.
barrel? Or was the barrel already the barrel was already bored out? Everything was all solid with that. It was just assembly and fitting. I'm just curious about the barrel.
It's supposed
section.
to be all you're having to do is the inletting of the stock to get everything working, but there was more to it than that because the actual kit was out of spec on the one that I did, so I had to do some finessing on the lock work and all that to get it to work.
Dude, trust me, I'm not busting your balls and I'm not diminishing anything you're saying. That shit's some legitimate stuff to do because I saw somebody years back actually building their own. They were a woodworker and they bought a kit, but they were using their own wood stock and they were laying it in and everything. It truly was amazing. I mean, honestly, it was awesome because the amount of work involved. Now,
What caliber was it?
That is one of the very
68
few
caliber or 68 caliber, right?
68.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's one of the very, very few hand done gunsmithing things that you can still do nowadays without even needing to have an FFL, because you have to have an FFL even to clean a gun now.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what Dark was asking you, which I'm also curious, what caliber was the rifle? And hold on, before you answer, I said 68. I think I'm wrong. I want to say 62. Dark, what caliber round ball do you think it was?
I'm thinking probably. I thought wasn't it like 58 popular?
That's what I'm trying to remember.
Both of what y'all said are period correct, but this isn't a period correct caliber.
Which caliber
9mm.
was yours?
I'm just kidding.
Does it take Glock mags?
Oh, beautiful.
1, 2, 3, Jinx, you owe me
but 50.
50.
Okay, it was 50.
BMG.
Okay.
Yep. Just kidding.
Now, question: what did they teach you on making your own rounds? Because there was a gentleman that I feel really bad about ostracizing him because I brought up his name nonchalantly too many times, and I won't do it ever again. but he used to tell me you could turn 38. You can take brass tubing and open it up and then solder a backplate, drill a hole, put a primer in there that you can reuse and remake the primer and make 38 long, aka 45 short, right?
Now you're talking about one of the main processes for making brass ammo back in 1901 era.
Right, but 38 Special was one of those where you can make that and turn it into a hunting cartridge, but you can make it in your own home with just a, like, not even a soldering iron, a torch, a fucking, copper, what do you call it? Copper welding wire, and just
Brazen rod.
a brazing rod. Thank you. I used to weld,
But
I
yeah,
can't remember.
they don't cover none of that stuff. They cover some of the, like, how to come up with your own load-ins and references and stuff like that, and
So
some of
they
that
don't.
additional material. But
So
that's
they'll
some of
teach
the
you how to
stuff
make
you have to,
wild.
like, look up yourself.
So they'll teach you how to make wild loads.
There's another course that's not with them that is pretty much going over making your own Wildcat and what the difference is between hand loading versus reloading,
Can
which
I?
is what my big deal is like reloading. A lot of people think, oh, I'm going to save money and all this. That you're talking bulk reloading at that point.
No,
But
this is like over a 10-year period. You're reusing shit. That's when it starts getting cheaper and it
yep.
doesn't cost you anything. Until then, yeah, unless you have a contract, it doesn't mean shit. And if you don't have a contract, you don't have a license.
And even then, if you don't have enough to be able to buy your materials in a bulk type quantity, you're never going to be able to get your prices down like low what people think that they'll get.
So let me ask you a question. When I was saying Wildcat loads, when I say Wildcat load, and I just want to verify I still have the correct terminology, that's basically a load where somebody's like,
Nails and staples.
That would be considered an exotic load.
hello?
A Wildcat load is
Hello?
any cartridge
Am I
that's
still here?
not standard spec.
You cut out for a second. Say
Hold
something
on.
like,
Everything's
there you go.
breaking up on my end.
You're back.
Can you hear me?
There you go. You're
Yeah.
back.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. No, what I was saying about a Wildcat load, from what I remember, Wildcat load was always one of those where you would put like a 17 HMR inside of a 308 brass and chamber it in a barrel to be able to try to get the highest velocity, flattest trajectory, everything else like that. That's what I remember a Wildcat load being, was always experimental and always trying to make the new best round, like the 6.5 Creedmoor, 223 Valkyrie, which sucks, 17 HMR, all these other different specs and calibers, but always stuffing something into something else and making it work. 300 Blackout, 223 casing expanded to a 30 caliber cartridge. That's a Wildcat load that turned into a standard. Is that the way you see Wildcat, or am I mistaking the terminology?
That's one form of having the Wildcat, is like you were saying, is necking stuff down to get extreme velocity. But really, a Wildcat is any cartridge that is not approved SAMI or standard spec, and it can go either way. Like what you mentioned with the 300 Blackout, where you neck it up to a larger diameter, but most, but not all, Wildcat cartridges will have some form of apparent case that it started from. There are a few where like they just come up with their own case geometry off the get-go, but the majority of Wildcat cartridges is modifications of some other cartridge case to start with.
Yeah,
And then once it
I
crosses
wasn't
that line to
expecting
get an approved, like 17 HMR 300 AAC, which is what Blackout is, 6.5 Creedmoor and 6 Creedmoor. Once it gets approved, then it's no longer a Wildcat, because Wildcat just means it's not a standard cartridge.
Okay, so that's what Wildcat means, not a standard cartridge. No, don't mistake me thinking that you making your own brass for your 38 special was me saying Wildcat. I completely understand. That wasn't Wildcat. I was talking about the experimental process.
But yeah, I got
like
what you were saying, but I was saying that no,
Okay.
they don't cover that kind of like make your own type of stuff. That's some of the stuff that you gotta like research yourself. They do like point
Right,
you
I
down
didn't-
to some of the places to learn more about like Wildcats and developing your own loads and stuff like that. But as far as like making your own materials, like some of the make your own primers and that kind of stuff, you're going to have to look that kind of stuff up yourself if that's something that you're interested in pursuing.
All right. No, I'm putting it like this. Thank you so much, because I just learned whenever I talk to my reloading buddies, I'll be like, "Is that Sammy spec? What's no, I did it my own load. Oh, so it's a Wildcat round now."
Yep.
I can be an asshole.
Anything that is not a printed
Sammy
spec is technically a Wildcat. And there is I think there's 2 other specs besides Sammy, but Sammy's your main one.
Walter put in an interesting comment here. A muzzleloader fowlers for birds would take anything you could dump down the barrel.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard.
That's where the term blunderbusses came from.
Oh, the Fowler, the one where they have it like on a whole rowboat, like in Irish Marsh, and it's like 10 feet long.
You're talking about
one
a punt gun.
Punt gun. That's right. Punt gun is like put anything on the ship.
I was thinking of
a punt gun is basically just a cannon with a shoulder stock.
No, I know what a punt gun is now. So what's a Fowler?
A Fowler is like Elmer Fudd's gun.
So basically like a shotgun, but a little bit more on steroids because it's black.
Pretty much, and that's the main reason why it has that like megaphone look to the end, is so that it can help funnel all that random crap that you're pouring down the barrel, because you're not using a regular round ball, and it literally staples, sticks to anything that they could get their hands on. Because you got to remember, even back then, nails, staples, all that stuff was handmade out of metal from a blacksmith anyways.
Just imagine so they didn't all exactly those river pebbles stuffed into a barrel, and they're like, fuck this duck.
And then imagine there's literally documented cases of when people did that and literally blew the whole gun up because they didn't think about, like, if anybody has ever made the mistake of having the wrong river rock next to or in a campfire, if you get a porous rock, it will explode with pressure just like gunpowder.
Okay, hold on. Time both of y'all out, and I want both of y'all's opinion and whoever in chat, because I'm kind of curious about this. So during the pirate eras, during the Caribbean, during the Atlantic, up and down, Africa, Mediterranean, yada, 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 they had blunderbusses, and they literally talked about stuffing, spoons and forks into them to be able to shoot at opposing ships that they were trying to take over. They already just took over, a merchant liner or a cruiser or a Liberty boat, whatever it may be. But I've heard more blunderbuss explosions and detonations on land than I've heard from pirates or from military service from history recounts from back then. Is there a difference other than the porous rock that people were shoving into these barrels, or did they just pour the barrels a lot thicker back then and made them way more resilient to whatever the F they shoved down them?
You want to know what my real opinion on that?
Yes.
I don't necessarily have a whole bunch of documentation to back it up, but I'm pretty
you understand
sure
what I'm saying, right?
Okay. What it really comes down to all the pirates back then, like say Pirates of the Caribbean days, you know, that's what they lived. Those is like your gun guys going to the range every day. They knew what they was doing. They knew the loads they was putting in, and they knew what they was shoving in it. They
This
wasn't
dude is like
overloading it with powder and stuff
yeah,
like that.
one day he's like stuffing in a whole bunch of lead balls. Next day it's forks, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta
Yeah,
add
because
45 more grams of black powder to make this
well, and you
launch."
also got to think too. They was also limited on the amount of powder they had too, because they'd have to conserve what they had when they was trying to board another ship, because you don't want to take all your powder to load your blunderbusses and pistols and then not be able to fire your cannons. Because
Yep.
everything used black powder, even for the priming and all of that stuff. It all used the same powder from back then. But they would literally take bolts and stuff out of the floorboards to shove in to shoot whatever they could. Literally anything you could shove down the barrel, dinner utensils, everything, buttons
Throw
off
in
of
your false
shirts.
teeth, George. Throwing in false teeth.
I
Yep.
think they likely started. This is probably just what do you call it? Like a loadout thing, right? Like you start with your balls and your powder and whatever, and then as you're going through that stuff, you're just like, okay, anything metal, it goes in there. Then you run out of stuff that's metal. Then you're like, okay, anything that is shaped like a ball, anything, because you need to continue sending
Yep.
fire down range. It's like anything. Put my boot in there, I could only imagine the disgusting things they put in there too, just to, you know,
Oh yeah.
And
like
you also
shame
got to
people.
think too, when you did have them accidents in the middle of some kind of situation like that, the only way that's going to come out is through around the at the pubs type stories
Yeah,
from people. It's not going to end up in any kind of actual
Yeah,
historic
they're gonna
yeah,
tell the
documents.
story to the family.
The
Yes, Petey was
old
up
Bob
there.
ends up in a song or
He
something, a
shot the
drinking song.
blunderbuss, killed 19 of them, I say. And then the cannon went off and took them out.
yeah,
Meanwhile, everybody knew that Petey fired off that blunderbuss too early, blew himself up, and they were cleaning up the mess before the battle happened. And that's what they're saying in the pub. So here, hold on. Let me change this discussion right quick.
Well, hold on,
Uh,
really quickly before you do
go.
that, Goy had something good on it. He had said, dude, during the Civil War, guys would put their cleaning rod or rocks in their guns when they ran out of ammo. The problem with the blunderbuss was that the barrels were Damascus steel.
Yep. But do you
Yeah.
know what happens with a Damascus barrel?
No,
Like
not
for
all
the old school
blunderbusses.
Damascus
No,
shotgun barrels?
hold on. Not all blunderbusses were Damascus. You know how hard it is to make Damascus? You have to
Uh,
roll it, fold it, fold it,
yep.
fold it. A lot
But
of the things were iron ore, and they just formed it or beat it into shape.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
they may not all be
they're
Damascus.
talking as Damascus as a literal method, not what we consider Damascus, which is pattern welded steel today.
No.
Everything was forged done back then,
No,
and
no, no, no,
at the
no, no.
time, the
Swamp
forging
Dog,
stuff is what they're talking about the
Swamp
Damascus.
Dog, I want to say you're completely wrong because I'm not talking about modern day Damascus. I'm talking about old school Damascus where you literally I'm
That's
sorry,
grumpy.
John Crump, where you literally had to forge it and fold it and forge it and fold it and you're
Yeah,
using different metals. Yes, I understand the blacksmith and all these barrel manufacturers, they made
that's
the same
literally where
stuff.
the word gunsmith came from, is because to
Right.
be a gunsmith back then, you had to literally be able to form the metal, form the wood, do everything, make
Exactly.
make the molds for the bullets and all that.
Doing all the
But
Damascus on the extra folding, those were on firearms for higher end clientele. Those were for higher end things because there was a lot more work involved in that. That's why I'm
yeah,
saying BS on the,
well,
it
no,
was
that's
not a
what I'm
common
getting at.
thing for people to
What
have
what you're
Damascus.
talking about is a side of it, but that is
You're right.
not 100% of what people talk about from back then being Damascus. That's
When I
only
hear
one
Damascus,
category of it,
I
because
only hear
that's
the
what's
one category. I'm
popular
sorry. I
now, because
apologize.
the main thing people think about is going back to samurai swords. But
No, I'm not
back
thinking
then
samurai sword. I'm
is
thinking like India
all
and the
of the
Vikings.
forging stuff like that is how the barrels was done. That's why none of them has like you could look under them on a micrometer or the magnispec, whatever magnetic check and stuff. None of them has the same thickness in any one spot because they
I
didn't have the
I
metallurgic
think your view on
technology.
Damascus steel is a lot more libertarian than my view, and I'm not going to knock it. I have a level where I say this is Damascus. All this new shit where they take ball bearings and leaf springs and do this, that's not Damascus, in my opinion. I have a belief where you keep on folding it, 1,000+ times over and over to be able to bring in, and you're also bringing other metals and alkaloids to be able to add strength or softness to it. So when it comes down, I might be completely wrong on the gun side. When it comes down to the blade side, this is my view of Damascus, and I don't believe
I
that
get what
pattern welded
what
shit.
you're coming at. That's what I was talking about. That
So I'm
the
wrong on the
term
gun side.
Damascus is kind of like muddied from
So
what it's actually
Swamp
what
Dog
you're
question.
describing.
Swamp Dog.
But I have a background in Armory too.
Hold on. So
Jesus.
basically, I know I'm an asshole. So Swamp Dog, basically, when it comes down to the blade metallurgy side for blades and knives, I am correct. But when it comes down to the firearm side, there's a different side to Damascus, is what you're saying.
Yeah, not all of the
Okay.
Damascus is going to have the patterning in it like what you're used to from the blades.
Okay.
Because even that, if you do a Damascus pattern blade, that's not going to show up unless you acid etch it to get the layers to show. If you just straight polish it, you won't know where them layers is at. And because of that, and especially because of the ones that's not etched to where you don't know that it's done, that's where you have the actual layers separating under the pressures of the whatever, even black powder back then.
Okay. I literally, I was not aware of the firearm side. I know the blade side. So I wasn't trying to be a dick. I was just trying to alleviate my ignorance and try to figure things out. You know what I mean?
Funny thing.
It's all good.
John Crump Live with the super chat. Thank you, my friend, for the $5 super chat. He says, some dude is trying to convince people BlackSwanTactical.com is owned by Amazon. What the fuck? I thought Amazon only owned like 30%.
Not 32%. Oh my God, John.
Yeah, definitely not 51%. So you should still have, control.
No, who is Black Swan Tactical? I don't even know who they are, honestly.
Black Swan Tactical is John Crump's 2A gear, 2A merch shop that holds all of his stuff, all of Flying Rich's stuff, 2A EDU stuff, all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Do they do things like vest, or is it just shirts?
Vest, like what do you mean vest?
Like a turtle vest, no sleeves, zip up, middle?
I'm sure they can do it just for you.
Do they do vests that carry level 3 armor?
Go to BlackSwanTactical.com and they can answer all of your questions.
Do they carry
it's a merch.
belts?
I want to answer a question that was in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
A while ago, Space Texan asked about what kind of info or knowledge you need to have beforehand going into Sonoran Desert Institute.
Yeah,
and really, you can go in knowing absolutely nothing at all, versus going in, you've already been working on your own guns for 45 years.
And you act like an asshole, and the teachers can't stand you, right?
I was going to say that goes both ways. Either way it goes. Even I have stories like that from when I went there. It's just one of them things, especially dealing with a virtual thing.
Yeah.
Oh, is it
I've
is
been
it all
doing
virtual?
this for 72 years. You don't tell me how to fucking do this, you son of a bitch. And everybody
now there
in
is
the
one
classroom.
thing that I do want to mention. Anybody that is thinking about it, there's a really, really great Facebook group of current and former graduated students that you can go on as long as you are going there, and people that's done open their own shops, done got their own FFLs, all that. It will literally help you if you have any questions and stuff like that, to where I personally have gotten even more help and support from the student group than even some of the staff and stuff from the school at times.
Nice.
Hey,
So,
can I? Me and Dark both want to ask you this question before we jump on to the next subject or continue on with this. What can you say is, like, if you were going to advertise for SDI, Sonoran Desert Institute, what could you say is the best possible things about it?
dude, people are literally gonna think that we're like getting paid by SDI.
Oh no, I'm
Like-
gonna reach out to them and ask them to pay me. But no, I'm genuinely curious, because just like me going in the military, people ask me, like, what did you get out of it? You know, blah blah blah. Just like me finishing high school with people I know that didn't. What did you get out of it? What did you get out of it? What can you say positively towards it? I can say a lot of negative shit about the Navy, but I have way more positive shit to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it really goes back to, like I was saying before, on what an individual is going into it with, what they have in mind already. Like for me, like I said, I was doing it to kind of save myself the trouble of having to search everything already. So having everything already coordinated with additional steps to take beyond that is what I really got the benefit out of. And then, of course, being able to actually get the degree through it to help further. But it just depends on what you want to do. And they have a couple of other options. Like, you don't have to go all the way just for the degree, because really the degree is just a degree. It don't necessarily mean you're going to get a job or none of that stuff. It's what you want to do. And like someone that's like mainly wanting to learn more for their own hobby, that's when it might be more interest or beneficial to just do the certificate program. You got to approach it with a mindset of what do you want to do after, and then that can help you focus on how you want to approach it.
Now, one more question.
And you have to be willing to do the work yourself, because if you're not going to do the work yourself, then it don't matter what you're wanting to get out of it. The online thing especially, you're pretty, I mean, you got guidance, you got support and all that stuff, but it's all down to you.
Now, one more question before we jump on to the next subject, and I didn't mean for there to be another question, but who are the people that you think would benefit most out of this? Like, obviously, we're talking about the 1%ers, the ones that are looking at doing gold leaf, engraving on a warlord's pistol or some type of shit like that. Do you see a specific type of person that can actually gravitate towards this and, turn this into a highly marketable in a small locale kind of situation? Or is this a, you know what, give it a shot, and how much due diligence you put into it is what you're going to get out of it whenever you leave this program?
The last thing you said sums it up perfect. What you decide to put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And as far as who it's beneficial to, in my personal opinion, I think it is far more beneficial to your average Joe, halfway into guns, but not like, or even like ex-military, because they do a lot of stuff with the veterans. But as far as who's going to get the most out of it, is someone that don't already have a whole lot of background knowledge already. Because if you have some of the background knowledge already, then you can take some more of the advanced stuff, or you already kind of know which areas you're wanting to focus on, to where you can go through it and get the basic junk out of the way to get to the areas you want to go. But for someone that really is going to benefit from that basic breakdown of the overall of every aspect of it, like your fundamentals, that's who's going to get the most out of it, because that's what they focus on, is like just enough for you to know about it, but you got to pursue stuff in depth more if you want. And like going back to what you said, someone that's wanting to go into it and start doing damascene and gold leaf and working on hand engraved stuff, don't even go to SDI. Go ahead and go do you a apprenticeship at a hand engraving shop, because that's where you're going to get the experience and the skills that you need on that. That's something that you're not going to be able to do by yourself unless you're already an artist in the first place, because you need that hands-on person beside you to keep you from starting bad mistakes.
Yep. Swamp Dog, literally, my first goal in life, I didn't want to be an astronaut. I wanted to make gold in-leaf AKs and M60s for warlords around the world. I wanted to do that. And I felt like I would be doing something that would be culturally appropriate because I'd be reaching around the world. You know, arms around the world, but instead of arms, like real arms. And I ended up realizing I'm never going to achieve that goal. So, other than that, dude, fucking SDI sounds like a legit fucking place to be able to get your bearings and be able to move forward. Kind of like
Sounds like you grew up watching Lord of War too much.
Yeah.
I was
think
trying
we
to
all
reference
overwatched that. What's
Yeah,
up, Wade?
Hey, Dark, bring us into our next subject line. I think we have enough time for, what, 2 or 3? Or
Yeah,
I'm wrong? I don't know.
so an interesting thing, just one thing I want to hit on, and then we'll kind of transition is it sounds like this is something that you want to do eh, if you're willing to put that level of work in and do your own work and research on the side, right? Like, they give you some of the pieces and you kind of, connect the dots and pick up the rest. And I think though that this is a topic that like all of us have, or anybody that would be interested in doing something like that. Um,
I do got one last remark about it to go along with the stuff that we talked about before we
yeah,
head off
yeah,
to the next topic.
I gotcha.
Don't say
but
FSDI because you're going to ruin our new sponsor. So,
our new sponsor, yeah,
it's a
we ain't
joke,
nowhere
everybody.
near
Oh my God.
SDI. Yeah.
I haven't been reading the comments, so that's why I'm so nice to everybody. I'm plugging in my other phone.
So basically, this is a topic, and it's something that like we're passionate about. Anyone that would be interested in doing this is going to truly love it and enjoy the craft. Whereas like, you're not doing like, underwater basket weaving like at most colleges. So, I think people that get into it, like as long as you're willing to do the work, it sounds like something that could be really cool. And I do have something to bring us into our next topic, which is really fun and exciting. But go ahead. You said you had another point you want to bring up.
Yeah, I was gonna break it down real simple to what I did with it, why I did SDI, and what I got out of it, to where if someone might be thinking that same way, they can get an idea out of it. But I approached it wanting to have the extra resources and references already laid out for me. Go ahead and take the basic tools that's going to come with the class to start out my toolkit to add to when I know more about what tools I need is more important to get here or whatever, and to get the degree to add to my portfolio and to hang on the wall. But the number one thing that your benefit anybody skill level from beginning to end that a lot of people don't think about if they didn't take any kind of classes or they don't have a shop or worked for an actual gunsmith is the amount of reference material that you will have can never be enough.
100%.
Amen, brother. So, thank you for sharing that. I know it sounds like a 59-minute and 9-second STI commercial, but honestly, that's important because I know a lot of people may really be looking at like ways to get in, kind of their foot in the door. And I got lucky. Actually, Tanaka's just asked. So, excuse me. Tanaka's just asked. He said, "I just need a shop to work for," and I had said, "What I did was." Ooh, sorry guys, I'm losing my voice, so I'm all messed up. But I identified all the local FFLs in my area, and I literally went in with a resume and made an impression, and I just asked if they had openings and talked about. I just started conversations and created relationships. And anyone noticed Dark's voice is a bit deeper? Yeah, I'm losing my voice. All right, sorry. I'm still here. I showed up. But
I
the
have a suggestion going along that too.
I'll take it. But the thing is like if you go in, you show up, you build relationships. That's the most important thing. That's the beginning point. And if you just want a job locally at a shop, and I ended up working with the number one largest dealer in our county for 5 years, just as a result of walking in. So you never know what you're going to get when you just walk in and make an impression. So sorry, go ahead, Swampy.
No, you're right on the money there. It's a lot harder for anybody, even like being a creator and stuff, talking with businesses, like for example, going to events and stuff like that. It's a lot harder for someone to say no to you to your face than it is to an email or even a phone call.
Oh yeah, 100%
Because
agree on that.
it makes a much bigger impact.
That's one of the biggest things that I used to use in sales back in the day. I would go to farms. I hated talking to people out of state or northern or southern state than me. Where if I couldn't drive to you within an hour, even if I drove to you and I wasted an hour's worth of time and gas and miles on my vehicle, guess what? I left out of there and I still had a potential for you to pass on my name or you still to work with me. So it's one of those where I will agree in person, it's way easier to sell yourself and your confidence and your abilities than you say, oh, I'm good at this. I can do that.
And another thing, if you
Yeah.
are trying to like go work at a gun shop, whether it's like even just starting out gunsmith like level, whatever you want to call it, if you have actually done anything, like even just as simple as built in a P80 or put together an AR or something like that, number one, make sure it's clear and unloaded, but bring that with you and put it in front of them. That is a physical, hands-on representation of a resume and will put you a step ahead of someone just coming in with a resume or something like that. If
So
you
you're saying if I
any
walk in
kind of
with a Dremel, I'm not going to get hired right away?
probably not.
God
Yeah.
damn it. This is
Watch me drill
bullshit.
this third. Just kidding. Um, no, I mean that's legit. You go in, you make an impression, but you also you have the interaction, but you leave with something that's more powerful than anyone. Every single person that tells you no, great. I'm leaving with your contact information, and guess what? I'm going to follow up. I'm going to call. I'm going to stop by again. I'm going to have a conversation. I'll come in. I'll buy a fucking gun just to get back in front of your ass to make sure we can spend time because I know I'm going to get
Yep.
delayed, right? And when I get delayed, I'm gonna, forge that relationship. And over time, that's exactly what happened with this gun shop. So just keep going in. Don't just embrace the word no, and remember that that just means not now.
Dark, they're
Yep.
beating up John Kimball or John Crump right now.
Oh, I
Detective
just
John
called him
Kimball
Donald
says
Crump.
Crump's dad gave him a small loan of $1 million.
Yeah, he was.
John Crump, you don't own a Mazda dealership near me? Question mark.
He was. I
Crump,
think he was a
I'm
play on
sorry,
the Trump
man.
card. I think he was a play on the Trump card, and I had to, chime in saying LMAO Donald Crump. But yeah, no, he's a good sport. He'll love it. See, haha. See, haha. So I
Meanwhile,
know.
John Crump is now putting you on a list, and he's completely reverted away from his original ways because y'all harassed him on the internet. You sons of bitches.
We
You're going to
need
kill
Crump
us all.
Towers, Crump Towers, Crump Golf Course.
We love you,
Donald
Crump,
Crump.
man.
You
For real.
you need you need to create a channel called Donald Crump. Oh
my
man,
God, that'll
Make
get
sure that
banned.
whatever you bring is legal, like people said in the chat.
yes,
Don't be the Frank.
the Frank. Yeah, don't be
Donald
the
Trump
man.
is gonna get banned immediately on YouTube.
You want to know what? I got a quick story. Then I promise we'll go on to another topic. When I was at my last shop, the only shop that I worked for, we had a woman bring in guns that her husband had owned, and she had said, "My husband told me that these guns were worth, like if he passed away, to bring them into a shop to sell them, that they'd be worth over $100,000." Okay. So we all kind of
So
look at
you
each
got
other like,
$100 worth of guns.
yeah, right. And so we're kind of looking at each other like, yeah, sure, go ahead and bring them in, make sure they're all clear, whatever. So she brings in the first one I open up is a pre-86 Colt, all matching numbers, registered machine gun, transferable machine gun. And I was like, damn, okay, all right. Bring in another one. It's an Olympic Arms pre-86 registered transferable machine gun. Like, all right, we may actually get to 100K here. She was the one that brought in the Ruger AC 556 that I fell in love with. 12.5-inch barrel, safe, semi, 3-round burst, full auto, stainless barrel, stainless folding stock, like straight up 18. Okay, that was another 12 or 13 grand. Then she brings in a bunch of handguns and a bunch of other long guns and all that. And then there's just one little bag still sitting there, and I open it up, and it is a Tula Crink 556, and I flip it over, and I see the third pin in 545. Okay. Well, come to find out, that was an unregistered machine gun. So shop had to call. Well, shop chose to call the ATF, the Bureau of Assholes Toe Fungus. I'm just kidding.
They could
Yeah,
have bought all that shit for half the price and not had to go through the legality. I'm just saying. I'm an
yeah, but
asshole,
you
but
know,
I believe in America.
I sadly, most normies are like, I'm not going to risk my FFL. You know, why would you get rid of a machine gun? Because an 80-year-old lady doesn't care about a machine gun. She cares about eating at least one sandwich a day before she dies.
She don't want to
You
eat
know,
cat food anymore, god damn it.
yeah. So they ended up calling the BATFA, and the BATFA came in, and the BATFA took the beautiful, beautiful Tula Crink, and yeah. Anyway, so that was a fun story. But people would bring in illegal shit all the time. I had one guy come in, and he bought a Keltec P11, and the next week he came in with a cast from here all the way up to here because he cleared it and shot a hole through his hand with a
No,
9mm BPLE.
he cleared his hand. That
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
the
he cleared the
legitimate
gun.
title. He cleared
He
his
cleared the gun
hand.
too. He
Just
cleared
not the
his.
way you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Hey, just in case.
He cleared his hand and the gun. He did drop the magazine, so that was good. Lots of fun stories from that one.
I
The
dropped my
people that would come
magazines
in,
too.
yeah, the people that would come in like reeking of weed and booze, like I want an AK. Anyway, sorry. Moving on to the next topic. So you know that a lot of the stuff that we focus on is like skills for self-sufficiency, and we always talk about water, obviously, food, obviously, shelter, security, and just some of the basic shit like that. You've developed a particular set of skills when it comes to butchering shit, specific shit, I might add, a delicate type of meat. Do you want to discuss that at all?
Yeah, I'm all game.
I'm all
I like
that
that
was a
pun.
good one. That was a good one. So what do you do during
But yeah,
deer
I'll be
season?
right back a minute though.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll wait.
hey, so
The
Dark,
build up. Yeah.
I haven't been reading the comments. What are the most effed up comments so far?
The most effed up. Oh well, Armitage, that waifu pillow doesn't talk back, huh? That's one for the books. Please,
Yeah,
please, please knock on my
unless
door
it
to
has
talk about
Wi-Fi.
the jabby, the sleeve roll up.
Hey,
She
can I
must have
introduce
brain.
you to my Lord and Savior, Dr. Fauci?
Lord and
We would
Saver.
like to give you a needle.
Yeah, please don't say
Dude,
the
have
word.
you seen what's going on in Cuba? Like,
Cuba.
yeah, Cuba, literally, they are trying to rebel against the dictatorship. And this is why I literally have a Cuban neighbor who's like, screw the Democrats. You know, we know what socialism is. We came from that. Um, and they are
Yeah.
literally fighting for their independence right now. And they just blocked all social media in Cuba. But what is it, Miami mayor is asking the army or the military to get involved to be able to help out the people of Cuba because the protests are starting to like literally blow up in South Florida. And I'll put it like this ain't Antifa. This isn't all that other stupid crap. We have a lot of Cuban citizens that have their heritage originally from Cuba here, and now they're Americans. Once you become an American, I got your back, bro. If you say your people getting fucked up, I got your back. I'm not saying let's invade Cuba and take shit over. We already have a military base there. It wouldn't be hard for us to take over. But I also, me coming from my military background and seeing military history, yeah, that shit is dirty as fuck because they try to put plants in every place. Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, like name a fucking place where we've occupied for oil or mineral rights. Yeah, it's shitty, but at the same time, I really think that we need to help the Cubans in such a fashion where they can actually overthrow or have, legitimate elections and go from there. I'm not saying support them like Puerto Rico. I don't think Puerto Rico needs to be a subsidiary of the United States. They need to be a part of the United States or suck your own titty, bitch. But other than that, they're not or what is it? Dictatorship. Cuba still is. I would say Cuba. I know a lot of Cubans. Fucking just help those motherfuckers out. That's all I would honestly say.
I think there'd be an opportunity for them to help themselves if a few things
Detective
happen.
John Kimball, SAD. I'm not going to take in Somalis or anything else in my household, and I'm not offering for Cubans to come to the U.S. for uh, inside.
You want to help them. You want to help them.
No, I want to help
You got some
them
sleeping
take over
bags.
their own damn country. But they're not sleeping in my damn yard. I have a Cuban neighbor, love the motherfucker. And other than that, when I lived in South Florida, I had Cuban friends, this and that, first generation, second generation. But nobody's coming in on asylum. I'm just saying, help out with them making their own decisions in their country and then walk the F away.
Alex. No, so I'm with you. What
Why
I'm
won't I
saying
quarter
is
refugees? That's racist. Yes, I
he's
am.
joking. He's joking.
No,
Okay.
no, I am racist. I am. Black and Puerto
Oh my
Rican wife
God,
and mixed kids. I'm just saying.
that one snippet right there. Yeah, no. So here's what I would say. There's footage of a literal like rebellion in the street of Venezuela where they are running after their dictators and like federal buildings, I guess you would call them. People in the streets, the cars. There was like a motor. What do you call them? A
Motorcade.
bunch of the motorcade passing by, and they grabbed bats and sticks and rebar and rocks, bottles, and I mean they were just going crazy. And there was a reporter that was on like I don't remember LSD or like
MSLSD.
yeah, like one of the big news networks, maybe CNN or DNN. But anyway, they're like, my God, look at all these people fighting, and they're starving in the streets, and they're dying, and they're fighting for what they believe in. Could you imagine if these people had firearms and had the ability to fight back? And it's just like radio silence. It's like, yeah, you guys are literally on a daily basis fighting to disarm us. And then you're saying if they only had guns, gosh darn it. Like, come
Dart,
on,
have you heard
dude.
about the Miami doctor that apparently staged and set everything up to be able to kill the Haitian president?
No.
You know, the Haitian president was assassinated and his wife was shot a couple of times.
Yeah. I
But
didn't know that it was.
apparently, yeah, it all falls back on somebody from America, which there was other Americans involved, but somebody from America that was a doctor that was the mastermind of the whole thing. An American, just a doctor, mastermind the whole assassination of a president of Haiti.
There's got to be something more behind that.
Oh, exactly. But that's all we know. But at the end of the day, Haiti is in turmoil and being fucking flipped upside down. Look at Puerto Rico. It doesn't matter if you have a president or not. We sent billions of dollars of aid to Puerto Rico. Guess what? Who got the aid? The people in the government. Nobody else in the country received any of it. The government has better guns, better ways to be able to deal with the people in the favelas and everything else like that. They're going through turmoil. But they're a subsidiary of the United States. They're not a state, so they don't get fucking impeded like they normally would. Now,
Oh,
Haiti is not part of the U.S. As one of the conscriptions, but at the same time, seriously, I mean, people aren't looking at our country. Look at what people are accusing our country of doing when we're not even over there doing shit. They're saying a white male extremist basically exterminated the president of Haiti.
yeah. I'll say this, and then we'll move on back to Swampy. Um, what needs to happen there is exactly. Sorry. Is exactly what would happen here if our government went, and I'm not going to say where we are right now is too far away from this, but if our government went full tyrannical and we experienced even something remotely close that even smelled like the shit that they're going on, that's there going on now, like we
Like a
wouldn't ask
Bolshevik
for.
revolution.
Yeah, we wouldn't ask for anyone to come help. Like we would literally, we would find the solution. I'd say that. And through that solution, there'd be a lot of blood of patriots and tyrants. But moving back to Swampy, Swamp Dog, you do something special during deer season. Tell us about that.
Yes, I do wild game processing, deer and wild hog both.
Okay.
Oh,
And what the hell? How'd you get into that?
It just happened to be one of the local jobs available, less than only a couple miles from my house.
it pay well?
It pays well for the area. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll put it that way. It pays enough that that's all I do is do that during the deer season and then just odd job stuff the rest of the year.
It don't take a lot of time to complete the job, I'm assuming, with your skills at this point.
Yeah, it's just the job is continuous.
Hey, that's a good thing.
We
Continuous.
once the season gets rolling heavy, we do on average 1,000 pounds of sausage a day, probably 200 to 300 pounds of burger a day, the same amount of steak, and that's me breaking down and processing 20 full deer carcasses a day, breaking it down into quartering it and making it into steaks and separating what we're going to make into burger or sausage or jerky or whatever the case is. And then we do everything full stop. You can drop off the deer as long as it's dead. We don't kill it, but we have a skinner that we take them to that gets skinned, and everything's processed start to finish, from a full hanging deer to your vacuum packed labeled meat that's vacuum packed and frozen, good for a couple years as long as you keep it frozen sealed.
So I take it you have some sausage recipes for deer, pig, everything under the sun that most people, they get the basic treatment on the sausage, and you're like, I got you. You spend that extra $10, I'm gonna hook you up with all these seasoned. I'll put the pig fat in there. Come on, tell me you got a
pretty much
sausage.
literally we have people that buy the sausage from all over the country just to have a couple of packs shipped, just because of the seasoning blends that we use.
Really? How? I mean, I don't know if we want to say it on our chat or say it out loud. I don't think anybody in here truly is a dick. So if you want to support the business you're working on, just know that you might have trolls, but at the same time, I'm willing to buy that. And if you don't want to say it, Dark will pass me your info, and I'll send you my card information, and I'll get a pack sent to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I'll give him the information, because just by the name of the company, it's asking for trolls already.
Exactly. And we don't want to be that way. And that's one of the biggest things. We don't really have a lot of trolls. I mean, we have people that talk shit and troll in the chat just to have fun with each other.
Well,
But
I'll put it this way. Just because of the name of the place, we had someone drive from 3 hours away just to stop and ask what it is because of the name, because they thought that it was something else.
Oh my God.
Being in South Mississippi, and the name of the shop.
So bad now. I want to know so bad now.
We'll have to talk offline.
Swamp Dog, whenever we killed the stream, you got to let me know and give me a place where I can be able to buy this.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
What?
Look at the private chat, Light. The
Joe
private
Morris?
chat. No, don't say anything. Look at the private chat and don't say anything.
Oh my God. Okay. Gotcha. No. Okay. All right.
God bless America.
Beautiful. And the funny part is there's a lot of establishments that still have that name throughout the South. And it's funny as fuck because they're in small towns and nobody has anything to say unless it's an outsider. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Dirty Dick Sausage Shack. Oh my God, that's great.
How did you freaking know? God damn it. Dirty Dicks
he hacked into our private chat. That's what it was.
He read my eye palpitations. He saw.
Yeah, well, I ain't got to say it now. Someone else did.
Fuck, man.
So
I'm sorry,
you said something cool. You actually said well, first off, you told me a great story, which you have to tell on here. But you also said something that I think is really kind of interesting, because like for people that haven't like processed their own deer or their own boar, or, whatever, they don't know the different cuts of meat are all really serving different purposes. So can you kind of give like a quick rundown of like something that somebody could walk away with and be like, okay, I got knowledge from that if they had to, like field dress a deer, or they would know what they're doing with it when they brought it home.
Right.
Yeah.
The
no problem.
butthole you have to boil for at least an hour and a half. That's
and
all
you have
they
to
need
eat
to
the
know.
heart raw.
That's all they need to know. The heart and the liver. I watched Indian movies. I know this.
Yeah. If you take a deer for your first deer, you have to eat the heart raw in the field, like an apple. Otherwise,
you have to smear the blood on your face as soon as you kill it.
See, that's where I kept on going wrong. But go ahead, Swamp Dog. I'm sorry.
I always did mine on my. Oh, never mind.
Oh,
You see that? Well, that's the problem, man. That's why you ain't getting more deer.
I know it, man.
You only get that first time, one time. You screw that up, then
Just so, guys, we're joking. Don't eat raw deer hearts in the field,
right. Because
please.
no.
if you eat raw deer hearts, you get straight up queer. Uh, uh,
You'll have deer
my
babies.
audio's wrong. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. But
You'll have deer
also,
babies.
I do have to give a public service announcement too, because we literally had to tell someone that had been coming there for years this too, to not eat raw sausage either.
Oh
That's
yeah.
not fully cooked.
No,
Because
that's
they was
disgusting.
opening it and eating it like hot dogs on the way home. I was like, whoa, man. I said, you got raw pork in there that's not cooked all the way. Do you know why you cook pork?
Dude, hey, Swamp Dog, you'll even attest to this.
Tricky noses.
Even if it's under nice and cold parameters when you're grinding and mixing everything for the sausage, that still gives the potential for bacteria, fungi, and other potential, baddies to enter that meat. And the minute that it gets a little bit warm, they start spreading, and now all of a sudden you got, diarrhea, stomach hurts, blah, blah, blah. Some people can eat
There's all
roadkill.
kinds of bad news.
And
But
there's some people
there's
that can
different.
I was gonna say, and there's some people that can eat roadkill. But at the end of the day, I appreciate the don't eat raw sausage. I agree.
Yeah, if you didn't grow up swimming in the raw sewage and eating raw roadkill, then don't start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because your body
Really
is not
quickly,
going to handle that.
No.
Montana says always go in raw. So I'm sorry, I gotta sidebar this for 1 second because Goy said he was leaving, and I promised you guys I would tell you what's going on with Goy. And if I don't tell this brief story correctly, please let me know or chime in, Goy. Hopefully you didn't leave already. But so Goy just like maybe 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago, was airlifted to a hospital. And a lot of you guys know Not Your Average Goy. Like he's been freaking glowy for forever. Like he's one of the OGs, and he's been on our stream several times. So
Did he try to shoot somebody's dog and they dog shot back?
no.
Okay.
That would be an incredible story. I probably would have led with that story. Um, does your guest work in meat packing? That's funny. Okay, so really quickly, so basically, Goy was out hiking, and he was hiking up rocks, literal rocks, and all he did was he took a step. When he took a step, he slipped on a rock and then rolled his ankle. And when he rolled his ankle, it broke, and the entire, like all of his body weight collapsed, like pushing his leg underneath of the rock and then twisting him. So it literally broke like his entire leg and foot and all of that. Let me see. Let me read it from what he said exactly.
It was like 72 hours with James Franco, but he didn't have to use his Swiss Army knife to cut off his leg to get out of it.
Dude, yesterday I got medevac lifted off of a mountain by CHP with a totally broken leg. It is shattered in 2 places. It sucks so bad. I slipped on a rock that was covered in super slippery dust and fell with my leg under me. All my weight landed on my ankle that was pushed up against the rock. It shattered my ankle and also my fibula under my knee. It's pretty bad. He has surgery coming up. I'm just going to see how serious it is then. If it's just bones, I'll be cool. But if there's tissue damage and torn ligaments, I could be screwed. He also said that even just sitting right now, waiting for surgery, he can feel his bones rubbing together, like just with like slight movements of his body, because they're broken and they're like chipped, so they're like kind of grinding and
They don't
stuff.
just
So
fit right in place. Oh my god,
yeah,
Goy, dude, I'm I will stick with that same
I
effed
hope
up
things
joke
get
that I
straightened
made.
out, bro.
Yep, exactly. Same as Swamp Dog said. I hope things get straightened out, man. I hope things work out for you, brother. Other than that, I'm still sticking with the effed up joke that I made. Hopefully, you can laugh at that without feeling too much pain when you laugh.
He also literally just got over the karate cold. So like
Oh,
he just got the karate cold, got over it, went out on a hike, and then destroyed his entire leg with himself. Now, for all these
So the
people that are
karate
always
cold turned
saying,
him into Mr. Glass.
I
yeah.
guess
So
so.
basically, he should have been listening to Master Fauci. Shot on, shot on.
Exactly. Shot on, shot off. No shot off.
Yeah, don't you know the vaccine solves everything?
Yeah, you're not
I'm
allowed to
sorry,
say
Goy.
that word.
You know we're making humor, man.
It's the
Dude, I
poke of
really
the
hope the
jet
best for you.
or the
Dark's gonna
sleeve
fill me
roller.
in.
Yeah, and guys, I just wanted to share that with you guys, just so you all are aware. Um, oh, here he goes. He is here. Just so you're aware, send some good vibes. Send some, if you're a person of faith, pray. Send good vibes, good energy his way, because he needs all that he can right now. Not giving too much away, but I mean, I'll say this: he's a father, and he is responsible personally for everything in his life in his world. So good vibes. We love you, brother. Get better quickly. But I'll say this: I constantly run into people that are always talking about almost like they want the boog to get here, right? They're the boog glorifiers. They're the boog you know, oh, if so and so happens, I'm just gonna armor up and go down the yeah, okay. Now let's say that happened. Now let's say you had to scale a small hill and you slipped on a rock and you broke your leg. There's no medevac, bro. You're gonna be shot in the head by your friends. Like
Hey, Dark. By any chance, and we're not the type of channel typically to promote things like, hey, help out somebody. We want to help out people with information, but we're not typically like fundraisers. Um, I would honestly ask Dark to talk to Goy, and if they genuinely need help, because you said he's a family man, he's got chitlins and all that shit.
mhm.
If there's something that we can do, and obviously we're not raising $1 million or anything else like that, but if we can raise a little bit of money, if that can actually help you, um, I'd be willing to be a part of that.
Me as
And
well.
we
Yeah.
want you to be a part of it also, so you can be on the stream or whatever and chat and say that we're not being facetious or whatever, but we would like to be able to help promote if we can help get you back on your feet.
Yeah. Ah, the good one.
Hey,
Oh, the
yeah,
puns, the
yeah.
puns.
But at
Yeah.
the same time, let us know if you guys can manage and eat this shit. Good for
Yeah.
y'all. But if you do truly need help somewhere, let us know, and we might be able to reach out to everybody out here in the chat, and see if anybody can also reach out and help.
Hell
So
yeah, man.
we're
We
not
got you.
assholes. You're part of the family, and we definitely want to be able to make sure that we can build up a community where we can look at each other and talk shit and whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, if somebody is hurting and they actually truly need help, we want to be able to help out the people in our community.
Yeah.
Also others, but it's a lot easier in our community because we've seen you before. We've heard your shit talking and you've been on here. We want to be able to reach out to the common man, which we all are. It's just, we have a platform right now as it sits. So we might as well try to use it to be able to help out whoever we can, when people truly need it. So
Yeah,
let
man.
us know.
It's all
Other than
about the
that,
love. Thank you,
go
Goy.
on, go on, Swamp Boy.
Yeah. Go get some rest, Coy. All right, Swampy. I'm sorry I totally cut you off, but I know,
No, it's all good.
Yeah. So you were talking about eating raw deer hearts after you
No, he
harvest
was
your
talking
first
about
deer.
eating raw fucking sausage on the
Yeah.
way home from the packaging plant, like it's fucking cookie dough ice cream. Oh, here, kids,
Oh.
try this.
Mm-mm.
That's how the Hills Have Eyes started.
Yeah, that ain't no
I used
good.
to I
There's
used to
a
babysit
there's a
kids that ate
couple of
raw
different
hot dogs.
kinds of. Well, raw hot dogs ain't that bad because they are fully cooked when they leave. But
Yeah.
there's different kinds of sausage that we make, and some of the stuff is fully cooked, like summer sausage and jerky and
Yeah.
stuff like that. That stuff you can just pop open the pack and eat it right then. But all of our smoked sausage is only cooked to about 80%. You still have to bring it up to temperature because it's just cooked enough to get all the seasonings in and firm it up and stuff in the sausage links. And that's the stuff that the dude was popping open the packs of sausage links and eating them
Oh
like
my
they was hot
god.
dogs. And I was like,
Oh.
yeah, man, you
Oh.
can't be doing that. But as far as I know, he didn't do that after we said that.
Did he put mustard on it? Because mustard can technically kill off those parasites.
I don't think so. As far as I knew, he was just eating them straight out the bag.
Ooh, you don't just
Oh
go to the
man.
whorehouse without a condom, man.
Yep, and he's like, "Oh, my granddad said to do this whenever I've been doing it all my life." I was like, "Well, do it at your own risk. I'm telling you not to." So I did my part.
Oh my
And it
But
was
god.
pig meat too?
yes, because we
Oh.
another thing a lot of people don't do their own meat and stuff, especially deer meat, which is considered venison, is a very, very, very lean meat. There's almost no fat except there's like very little body fat on it. So when you make sausage or even burger, you have to mix in fat with the deer meat so that you have
Yep.
the right proportions. Because if not, and you try to make a burger or especially a sausage patty, but say like making a burger, for example, the meat's going to fall apart. There's nothing to bind it together because it's so lean. That'd be like getting a pack of 90/20 ground beef. That's
Yeah,
better for
it
like making
breaks
chili and stuff like that. It's not going
in
to hold itself
tacos.
together. And tacos.
Mm. Damn.
But yeah, going to what you had brought up earlier about the different cuts of meat and stuff like that. Uh, I'll go by what my recommendations are from doing this for almost 10 years now. Uh, for starters with you have backstrap, which most people is familiar with backstrap, even if they don't hunt or whatever. The backstrap is what is called a filet mignon in beef. That's like your best cut of meat. So you want to keep that and make your steaks and stuff out of that because that's your juiciest, most tender cut of meat. You don't
The
want to just
backstrap
take.
comes off of the back, right around the spinal cord by the rear end, right?
Yeah, it's right down both sides of the backbone. That's why it's called the back straps because it's like a strap on each side. And just depending on the size of the animal, like with deer and stuff, that's usually what we take and just slice that up. And we have a tenderizer we run it through, and that's where you'll get your steaks to cook for your steaks. And then your rear legs or hindquarters, that's where
Mhm.
you're going to get the rest of your steaks, like for what people might be more familiar with cooking like a beef steak, where you're going to have a little bit of the different different pieces of meat that when you cook it you have that separation and stuff, whereas like the back strap's just going to be one solid piece of tender meat when you cook it.
It's basically the pork tenderloin of the deer,
Um,
which is the
Pretty much,
backstrap.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. That what they call the tenderloin on pork is what a backstrap is on a deer, and then you also have the
Interesting.
actual tenderloins, which is on the underside, which is even more tender than the backstrap. But it's like taking a half of a backstrap is how the size of it is, to where we usually leave them whole, and people cook that like just as like a New York strip steak or wrap it in tinfoil with some onions and bacon and throw it on the grill and slow cook it. That's your main cuts that you want to leave like it is. Your front shoulders, and especially if you're not wanting steaks out of the hind quarter, then the hindquarters is where you're going to get the majority of your meat that you want to grind up for burger and sausage and stuff like that.
The rump side.
Yep. And the
Now,
same
what-
thing, if you're wanting like a roast,
Yeah.
that's going to be best coming out of the hindquarter. That's where you just
I
take a
always
whole
thought the
section by itself.
I always thought the hind quarter and the shoulder were the best roasting pieces. Well, cow, deer, lamb, whatever it may be. But if you take the whole shoulder, that makes a great roast, and the rump also makes a great roast.
Yep.
Rump is primarily a roast thing, but
that's the same thing on deer too. And like where you were saying, if you do like the best thing to do for a roast is to do the full shoulder with the bone in, because then like you said, then you get the marrow and all that stuff when you cook it out. And pretty much the same thing. That's the front shoulders and the hind quarter is going to be your toughest meat. So that's what's going to do best being put into a roast. Same thing, if you take that tender meat from the back strap or the tenderloin and you cook that down longer than what you would need to just like throw it on the grill, it's going to do the opposite of a roast, and it's going to start getting really, really tough and stringy.
Yep. Now, would you recommend the shoulder and the rump for making like jerky? I mean, I know you can cut against a grain.
I was gonna say you can make it out of either way, but your best jerky is gonna come from your back strap and your tenderloin, because it's nothing but pure protein, and that's what you want your jerky to be, is the leanest part of the meat, because that's all you're doing is drying out the meat.
What would you recommend the best dry seasoning? Like if you were doing a primitive camping and you ended up in the primitive camping taking a deer or a hog or whatever, what would be the seasonings that you would bring to season any type of wild meat, just like the standard salt, pepper, garlic? Like, what is your standard?
It's funny that you mentioned that, because that's one thing I mentioned to Dark. That's one thing that's always in my survival pack or anything if I'm going to be out there, is I make seasoning packs with straws and then seal the end of it so that you always have seasoning with you, whether you get you a rabbit or a fish or something like that. You can cook it fresh.
Do you have multiple seasonings, or is it?
I do salt. I do sea salt, pepper.
Okay, hold on. For a fish, tell us what your seasoning is. For a rabbit, a squirrel, a deer, go on and just make it quick to the point.
I do it whatever tastes good. So I have my own mix of seasonings. I usually do a lot of Mexican food, so I tend towards chili and spicy stuff like that. But as long as you have some seasonings with you in your pack, you can eat and cook anything. You can make anything taste good with the right amount of seasoning.
Hell yes, I agree to that.
There's actually
and that's one thing that a lot of people don't think or overlook when they're talking about a survival pack or something like that. Is I very rarely hear anybody talking about any kind of seasoning. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, MRE," but man, it don't take much.
Dude, please tell me you have some garlic powder or some onion powder with you in those little seasoning straws.
Yep.
Okay, just making sure.
Salt, sea salt, black pepper, white pepper, garlic powder, onion powder,
and some type
chili
of chili
seasoning, and I usually just take some like Tony Chachere's or something like that, where you already have your mixed seasoning.
Have you ever tried Everglade seasoning yet?
I've heard of it, but I haven't tried it.
Okay, well, if you're willing to give Dark your address, I'm gonna send the same package that I've been supposed to sending to Dark for a while. I will send you 2 different seasonings, and I want to know your feedback on that shit. One of them is Everglade seasoning. The other one is a South American seasoning. that will knock your socks off. You'll put it on everything, dude. And
Dude,
everybody that got
Sounds
to
good.
play with it did the same damn thing.
Dude, no matter where you go, like let's say, even at Walmart, right? Regardless of what your thoughts are of Wally World, just hear me out. At Walmart, if you go back to the, camping and all that section, they have a little circle. It's like this tall. It's like 3.5 inches tall. It's like $4. It is a little circle, and it has like 8 to 10 spices, and it's got salt, iodized salt, and iodine is important to have in your diet, especially if you're living out in the freaking woods. If it's like boog territory, pepper, cayenne pepper, which is great for a lot of different things. It doesn't have a lot of them, right? But if you're just using it for eating, if you need to use the cayenne pepper to, plug a wound, then that's a different story. But
Oh, thank you, Dark, for bringing that up, dude. That
of
is
course,
great at cauterizing a wound. And it's also
yeah, I need our
great when
people
you have a
to,
cold or a flu because that helps add flavor when you
and
can't
it clears
taste.
you right up.
Yep.
But yeah, you had
Your
mentioned
nose will be
asking about
running.
some of the sausage flavorings and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
The
When we get off of the stream, dude, I'm legitimate. I want information because I will send those things. And like I said here live with everybody else in the stream, when I send those, I will send Dark the package that I've been meaning to send him for a while. I've just been dealing with drama. So other than that, I will make this a point because seasonings come first, in my opinion.
Dude, Joe Morris just nailed it. He said it looks like the Trivial Pursuit pizza pie game piece on top. That's exactly what it looks like. It's a circle with a bunch of those little triangles in it, and you can get it. I got two of them,
You
one
can
each pack.
refill those though, right, with your own
Yep,
seasonings that you want. That's the best
Yep.
and it's
part about those.
waterproof.
It
And it's
is.
waterproof. Yeah, if you
but
needed to use
the
it
only
for
thing
freaking
is you ain't gonna
gunfire.
find that at Walmart here.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you're and number one, it's a 35-minute drive just to get to a Walmart, and
oh,
then the selection is extremely
Mm,
limited.
I was gonna say,
wow.
what? There are no squirrels in your area anymore. I didn't realize it was a 35-minute drive to Walmart. My bad, dude. I wasn't being a
Yep.
dick with the comment.
But
So all right.
yeah,
No,
as
So
far
I
as
know we only
this,
got. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna list off some of the more common or more popular flavors
That's
that we
actually what I
do.
was going to say because we're coming up. We're at an hour and 47 minutes, and I don't have too much time. So let's give the rest of the time to Swampy. Go ham. It's all yours, brother.
We make a really good jalapeno and cheese smoked sausage that has the cheese mixed into it, and we even do some with jalapeno and pepper jack. And the last 3 years, by far the most common and popular sauces that we started doing with what we call Southern Sweet Heat, and it is jalapeno and cheese and pineapple and brown sugar.
Nice. That sounds incredible.
hey, Dark. Whenever you cut off the stream, keep me or keep Swampy on here because I definitely want to talk to him.
Hell yeah.
I'm a foodie. Go ahead, Swampy. Go ahead. I'm sorry, bro.
Although I was going to say that's the most common ones. And then we also do like a regular cheese sausage without the jalapenos. And then we do a regular mild, medium, and hot smoked sausage with just the seasoning and nothing else added. But by far, probably 7 out of 10 orders is going to be the jalapeno and cheese with the pineapple and brown sugar
Dude, that
and
sounds
pepper jack.
bomb.
And we also
Swampy.
do a seasoned burger too. We'll do burger with seasoning already in it, and we'll do bacon burger with the bacon ground up in as part of the fat instead of regular fat. And then same thing, we'll also do that with jalapeno and cheese ground into it as well.
And do you guys ship this?
We have shipped before.
Okay. Now,
Everything will be shipped. It's going to be frozen and shipped in a cooler with dry ice.
now, Swamp Dog. I'm giving you a heads up. Um, put it like this. Yes, you understand that there's trolls, there's assholes, blah, blah, blah. I would say talk to your boss and find out if he'd be willing to have his information out there. And the only reason I say that is because legitimately, I think there's quite a few people that would order one time or multiple times out of this stream. And you guys might get some crank callers, whatever. But at the end of the day, I think that there could be a potential on you guys increasing selling some product, which will screw me over because I really want to order stuff from y'all. But this is one of those things where if you're an employee, I would talk to your boss and say, hey, there's a decent amount of people listening, a decent amount of people watching. I kind of semi-promoted the brand. Are you willing for a little bit of craziness and actual real orders coming through this? And I'm not saying
the place where you physically are working.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, in all honesty, I don't think any ill will is really coming out of our community, other than just the shit that we talk and whatever. But at the end of the day, dude, you are legit. You haven't said anything negative that can come across sideways. We're the only negative, PR towards you, other than the fact that promoting you. But I do want to know where you work, and I do want to know how to order. So at the end of the day, that's where I stand, and I would recommend ask your boss if he's willing to have his business promoted, whether it's dirty dicks or not. We can call it whatever it may be, but at the same time, I genuinely think that we can pass on some more business to y'all, especially if you can ship frozen around the country, because I legitimately I am down to clown with that.
But you guys process it.
I was going to say that's one thing people have to keep in mind is it is going to be a little bit pricey too. Especially for shipping, but it's something you ain't just going to get in a grocery store.
Exactly. It's not something like, oh, we're harvesting these ducks and blah, blah, blah. No, it's what you guys get and what you guys turn it into. I'm willing to try it. And also, if you have a sausage recipe that is very good for sausage gravy and biscuits, oh my God, fucking send those sausage links to me also. Because I will make sausage gravy and biscuits, and that is what I'm a fan of. My favorite food. If I was going to the electric chair, that's what I'm ordering, and it better be
if you're wanting something for sausage gravy biscuits, you want to get a pack of medium patty sausage.
From y'all?
Yeah.
Or just in general?
No, that's what I'm saying. From what we sell, if you're wanting something that's going to be really good for sausage gravy biscuits, get the mild patty sausage.
Okay, so I'll get the mild patty sausage, and I will get 2 or 3 other varieties that you say.
I'll put it this way:
phenomenal.
our basic sausage seasoning that goes into everything, regardless of our extra stuff we add to, is a 100% custom blend that is custom made from the seasoning factory for our shop.
Dude, hey, that's why I want it. And that's why I'm saying I want the sausage gravy and biscuits sausage, and then I want these other sausages that you are talking about right now.
You guys don't just do processing where like I bring you a deer and then I pay you to process it and whatever. You guys actually have stuff that you stock and sell as well?
Not what the stuff. The only stuff that we keep on hand that we make ourselves strictly for selling is just pork.
Okay.
So
anything deer you have to kill yourself and bring in.
Gotcha.
So what you're doing is you will handle a hunter's deer, but you do have a continuous pork supply that you can, keep on making product.
And it's It roughly about 2-pound packs if you're going by the sausage lengths, and then the patty sausage is usually 1 pound to 1.5 pounds per pack, and it's all done by weight.
All right. Dark, let's kill this stream right now. I need his information, and I'm gonna fucking package up the shit I need to send to you. I want sausage, and I want to make my own sausage gravy and biscuits right now.
All right. Well, I don't think he can ship it that quickly, but
It's the internet. He can do it.
Swamp Dog. What else do you have to close out on?
Just check out the channel and the Instagram. I'm almost at 100 subscribers, and I'm finally figuring out how to get the 3D videos uploaded. I have one 3D video on the channel at the moment.
Dude, and he showed me these pictures, these 3D pictures. When he first told me, I was like, yeah, whatever, cool. 3D pictures. Dude,
can you show
I was tripping out.
Can you show him?
He did send me some, let me see.
I don't know.
None of the pictures and stuff that I sent were the 3D, but I do have the link with them 3D ones for you to be able to scroll through with no sound. That sample 3D ones I sent you.
Dark, if you can, if he can send you one, can you show it on the stream?
Probably. Yeah, it would have to be another one.
Okay. I want to see this. I mean, you were telling me they were amazing. I want to freaking see this shit. I mean, it sounds freaking great. If you hype me up, I know it's good.
Yeah, and some of the other stuff, you know what we'll probably do? We'll probably have you back because I know there were some topics that we didn't get to hit, and we're coming up on 2 hours. You were at the Iraq Veteran 8888 shoot, and you were able to talk about something special there. I want to be able to hit that. And the 3D pictures, like, I'm telling you, there's a picture of this chick. She was a model, and when you look at it, it's just like, oh, it's 3D. But then you turn it, and you can see her, like, turning, like, looking at you, dude. It's
and
so crazy.
That right there, the animated 3D printouts is what I'm really trying to focus on. And all of them samples, but with guns. Like, by far, the number one most wow factor picture that I've shown to people in person was just a simple picture that I took with the tablet at IV88 of just a little toy Groot on the table. But I did it in the 3D, and literally everybody, including Rob Pincus, jaw on the floor when they see it.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I was blown away. Yeah, I was totally blown away. Send me
some links, some info.
Hell yeah. Dude, well, I don't know how many episodes you've seen, but for our guests, we always give you the honor of naming the stream. So you get to name the stream whatever you want.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
I like it.
That's good. That's good. I like that. Cool.
Oh dear with Swampy.
That was like
oh
Cody
dear
Wilson. That was like Cody Wilson. Oh fuck.
Shit. Fuck.
No. Wait. Was it oh shit or oh shit fuck? Shit fuck.
I was 5 minutes from having the 3D videos and pictures in Cody Wilson's hand at the Makers match, but I couldn't get to a spot. I couldn't get to a spot with a shade to show him the tablet.
Oh,
bro, we could connect you with him. We've had him on the show twice now.
Well, just tell him Cody wants to talk to him.
Tell Cody that Cody wants to talk to him. Okay. You got it.
Cody, go look in the mirror. Talk to yourself right now.
Yeah. And I'm Crumpy can connect you too, man. So you'll definitely be able to get connected with him, man. He's all about that shit. He's about
no
that
dislikes because I'm on here.
Yeah, no dislike. Well, now somebody, at least Kimball's.
Now somebody's going to because I done said something, but.
No, it's all good. No, I appreciate you coming on, dude.
Gentlemen and ladies, we are going to depart from the live stream. We wish you adieu. And me and these two other gentlemen, we're going to talk.
Oh, yeah.
For
Speaking of, I heard someone do a Flying Rich reference. Flying Rich has some of my sausage to try. Y'all should ask him how it is.
Nice. Yeah,
Is he live right now, or is he on right now?
Oh, I don't know. I
no.
heard someone mentioning him. I doubt it. He's
Oh.
probably in bed by now.
Yeah, he said he was going to bed earlier. He was hitting me up at 9:30 like, "Why aren't y'all streaming?" John Rice said this stream wasn't controversial enough. That's why we didn't get the dislikes. That's so true, man. We're typically
Dark, let me
controversial.
demonetize this stream right now.
I muted your ass. Okay. Well, thank you so much. All right, y'all. Hey, Swamp Dog, thank you. Guys, go check out his channel, Swamp Dog Armory. He's got a lot of cool shit going on. You will always see him popping in between our channel, John Crump's channel, Hank Strange channel, 2AEDU's channel, and it's like a little community of PewTubers here that, we're all about just, same shit, helping each other, self-sufficiency, and just, building a community, man.
We appreciate y'all, and
Community is what it's all about.
we enjoy
Oh, yeah.
the smack talk, but at the same time, it's all about helping each other out. That's how a community, forms.
Hell yeah. And just quick note before we go, he does not like being called Swampy. So everyone, please make sure you call him Swampy. And literally everybody is calling you Swampy. Oh, this is great.
I was just gonna say everybody's saying it now.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you, Swamp Dog Millionaire. Thank you for coming on. Guys, go check out Swamp Dog Armory and check him out on Instagram too. And peace. Y'all stay dangerous.